Hi! Welcome to Juice Bar. Today we're gonna make a cocktail based on the scariest movie ever, Spoorloos. Spoorloos, or The Vanishing, is a Dutch-French 1988 movie that allegedly has been called by Stanley Kuybrick, the great director, the scariest movie ever. So, after seeing this quote from Stanley Kuybrick appearing in my social media at least twice in the last few months, I was like, let's see if this is true. I cannot verify if this quote is true or not. I think it's something that the director of Spoorloos said that Stanley Kuybrick told him directly. But anyway, this quote was enough to make me really curious about this movie, and I searched it and I couldn't find it legally available, but I found a Spanish dub version on YouTube, and I watched that with the auto-translated subtitle in English. So between Spanish and English, I was able to understand most of it. And my verdict is that it's really a freaky scary movie. I had a hard time falling asleep last night. And I will tell you more on the movie while I stir the drink I made based on the story. But without further ado, let's start making this cocktail. And it's gonna include ingredients remembering the story of the movie. The movie takes place between France and the Netherlands, mostly in France. So I was like, let's do a split base of genever from the Netherlands and cognac from France. Also, we have from France Bénédictine, and finally coffee liqueur. Coffee, a really important part of the plot of the movie. So let's mix. And we start with 7.5 milliliter, or a quarter of an ounce of Bénédictine liqueur, giving a bit of complexity to the cocktail. Then we go on with our coffee liqueur, which is gonna be Borghetti. I brought back from Italy a full bottle of Borghetti, which it's probably my favorite coffee liqueur. It's so like basic, down to earth, and just good and cheap in Italy at least. Then we go on with 15 more milliliters of cognac. I have here a standard Rémy Martin VSOP. And we finish with 30 milliliters of our Bols genever. I love genever. Such a great ingredient. Somewhere between gin and new make. Anyway, let me get some ice. Let me stir this cocktail while I tell you a couple of things about Spoorloos. So, the movie is scary without a single jump scare, I would say. And it's scary in a Jean-Paul Sartre meets Edgar Allan Poe kind of way. The story, I think, could have been an Edgar Allan Poe story or a story from Alfred Hitchcock Presents or Twilight Zone, something really weird like that. But the implications of the stories are way deeper, and they really go to question many things, from free will to why we are here. Is man good? Is man bad? How we keep ourselves together as a society and civilization. While style-wise, the movie is really borrowing a bit from Nouvelle Vogue in the style of editing, chopped up. You find yourself in a different scene without any introductory sequence. There are characters appearing all of a sudden, and you just have to pay attention and figure out where you are. There are like imaginary, dreamlike sequences that appear out of nowhere and they seem realistic, and yeah, you just have to pay attention and figure out stuff for yourself. Doesn't help you at all along the way, the narration style, and it's really dry. On the other side, the music, it's sparse, mostly electronic, and I will say upsetting, because it's really scary in parts that would be totally normal, and then at some point it goes into like kind of joke slapstick style for a scene that just creepy more than slapstick. Yeah, upsetting. But now let's just strain our cocktail in a chilled small cocktail glass, because the cocktail itself is not that long. And there you go, a Spoorloos coffee cocktail featuring a collaboration between the Netherlands and France, just like the movie. Cheers. Perfectly nice. How do I think you should drink this cocktail? Well, if you want to organize a Halloween night with Spoorloos, prepare yourself for a really quiet, somber night, and for people living after the movie is over with just a sense of dread for existence and for humanity. There are gonna be no screams, just, yeah, existential dread by the end of the movie. And so I think this cocktail would be perfect to drink while watching Spoorloos. It's actually a really nice cocktail. Just hint of coffee, Bénédictine necessary to give some complexity, and the split base of genever and cognac works perfectly. It's mellow and delicious. So I hope you enjoyed the video, my first video in this Halloween season, let's say, and go and watch Spoorloos while drinking this cocktail, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. By the way, this movie was the subject of a terrible, according to Wikipedia and the critics, remake in Hollywood. Actually, with some good actors like Jeff Bridges and Kiefer Sutherland. But hey, from what I read on Wikipedia, they changed the plot in such a way to completely undermine the whole structure of the movie and what makes it so terribly scary. One thing I saw in one of the reviews on the movie, and repeated by the AI of Google, because AI of Google cannot understand a thing, is that this movie deals with the banality of evil. And I think that's just wrong. Because, if anything, this movie deals with the exceptionality of extreme evil. While the banality of evil, as I understand it, is when evil becomes normal to people because it's been done and normalized. Which is not what happens in this movie at all. Just AI, man. It's not quite there. It doesn't quite understand. Just copy and paste some pages at random.